Hi, welcome to Moonbeam's Messages. This is a finance reading for the collective of Gemini. Now, this is a collective reading, so it won't resonate for everybody. Please only take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And if you don't find any messages in this for yourself, please check your other placements. You may find a message in there. Okay. Now, this could relate to your past, present, or your future. It is a timeless reading, so whenever it's likely to fall into your feed is likely to be when it's relevant for yourself. And today is the 21st of July. Okay, so if you do enjoy your reading today, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and like and subscribe, and it will help push the message out to other people that may need to hear it. So let's get some cards for you. As always, I'm not a qualified financial advisor. This is just some information that Spirit may need to, or feels the need to pass on with regards to the collective of Gemini's current finances. So Spirit, can we get some more cards please for Gemini for their current finance? For their finance reading. Got all tongue-tied then. Thank you. We get 3 more cards, please, Spirit. And 1 more card, please. Thank you. Okay, give me 2. Okay. So, in your current position, or the current energies for yourself, now I do apologise, I'm just getting used to where to put my cards at the moment so that you can see them. So this is the Page of Pentacles. That is the current energy of yourself at the moment. So the page, well, I say for the current energy for yourself, it's like the overall energy for your reading. So your Page of Pentacles then is suggesting that you need to look at assessing what you've already got. Potentially you may already assess it. You may be doing a little bit of looking at where can you move money from one area to another. It might be something that you do a lot. It could very well be that you may even work in that industry where you have to, or you might have to do it at work. It's like robbing Peter to pay Paul. Is that the terminology for it? So it could be very much you reassessing your finances quite a lot, trying to work out where you can redistribute some funds to. Maybe you cancel some subscriptions quite a lot, maybe you somebody that likes to negotiate better deals. But yeah, so that's the overall energy for yourself. Now, in the current position, we do have this Emperor, and he came out in a bit of a challenge position. I'm really sorry if this is wobbly and not focused. I'm still trying to learn the best placements of where to go to put with my new setup. I've moved the camera again since my last one, so I do apologise. So currently you are a little bit stuck on knowing whether or not you should be helping people in need. Maybe that's possibly why you're having to keep re-looking at your finances. Maybe you've got needy people in your energy and you don't have the money to give or help them out, but you feel like you need to all the time. So you're constantly reassessing where can you restrict your cash flow in order to help others out potentially. It could even be that people might need to help you out a little bit and you don't like receiving help. Let's get some clarification on that Emperor card, please, Spirit. Okay, so we've got a 6 of Swords. And that's come out in the reverse. So your 6 of Swords then is suggesting that you don't really explore other investments. But you do look at what you've got, and you might, you do try and learn from what you have got, but you might not be learning enough. Which is a bit, it could very well be that what you might be learning is that you can't, or what you haven't learned potentially yet, is that you can't help everyone. And maybe you've got needy people in your vicinity that could be extremely challenging, and they're constantly asking for help, and you keep on giving them help all the time, but you haven't worked out yet that you can't keep giving to them. Or maybe that's just something that, yeah, it's very much, it just seemed to me like you know what you've got, but you keep on giving to the same people constantly because they just ask for it, instead of them looking at what they've got themselves and relying on their own, own resources and on themselves. They just turn to you, and then you cut yourself off and you struggle yourself, instead of learning actually this is all you've got. You can't afford to keep helping them, but you keep on, maybe you keep putting yourself short, maybe you're getting yourself into a bit of debt as well. Now we've also got an 8 of Wands that's come out to clarify that, which is suggesting again that certain things haven't been going your way. Maybe you've had some inheritance that's come in as well, and you've ended up distributing it out to other people. Now we do have the World card that's come out in the upright. So to me, that's saying that, you are very productive. You do try and save. You do a lot to try and earn your money. And it could be down to that as to why you've got people that feel the need to take money away from you. So it could very well be that you might be somebody that's very much of a giver, and you've got these people that might be trying to take from you. It might not even be that they're taking money from you. It could be very much that they're constantly taking your time, expecting you to keep give. You know what you're capable of, but you keep over-giving, so you could end up emptying yourself out. Now, when I'm saying over-giving, this could be something to do with work. It could be that maybe you've got a massively heavy workload, and they keep piling more and more on you and expecting you to keep doing more and more, and you keep doing it. And then you're aware of, things are tight. You're aware that you haven't got much extra time to spare. It could very well be that, you'd found a load of time and then it's been taken away from you, and you've had to do something else for someone else because they've caught wind of it. And then with this work, you're constantly being productive. You're constantly earning. You're trying to save some time in different places in order to invest it in yourself. But you find it quite challenging because you've got all these people that just want to take it all from you all the time. Now, in the blocks or blockages we've got for yourself, we've got this 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. Now that is suggesting that if you have got some sort of lump sum, if it is to do with inheritance, which is, if this 8 of Wands was in the upright, again, that would have been an inheritance. This is telling me that you may have had an inheritance that you've not spent wisely, quite possibly because you've given it to other people. Might not be an inheritance, it could have been a cash windfall of some form, like maybe you've won a lottery, maybe you've got a bonus payment, maybe you've got a new job where you've got more money coming in. Maybe you've won a legal battle and you've been awarded some compensation. It could be anything like that. Insurance payouts. Maybe you've sold something and it made you a load of money. It could even be your time and energy. Again, especially if it's work related, it could very well be that you might have had time, or you might have had some, a bit of freedom, but it's been wasted. I'm not saying that it's necessarily been wasted because of you, but it's not necessarily being used wisely. So it is something where it needs to be used wisely in order to, prevent more blockages. So let's get some clarification on that 10 of Pentacles. I'm really sorry if the shuffling's really loud. I keep having to remember to move it away from the mic. Okay, so we've got a 4 of Cups, a 7 of Wands in the reverse, and a 5 of Wands in the reverse. So there's a 4 of Cups. And there's the 7 and the 5 of Wands in the reverse. Okay, so that 4 of Cups then is telling me that you need to keep track. Sorry, I just dropped something. You need to keep track of what it is you spend potentially, or where you're spending your time if it's to do with time. But you need to keep track of it in order to work out where your extra funds are. Again, this could have something to do with this Page of Pentacles. Maybe you're already doing that. But yeah, it's suggesting that potentially that you do keep track of everything, or that you need to keep track of everything in order to work out where you're spending your time, where you're spending your money, so that you can work out where you can make savings and investments. Now this 7 of Wands and this 5 of Wands then, again, this is suggesting that you're currently not looking at where money is draining and cutting it out. So again, something that you need to do if you're not doing it. But it's odd that the 4 of Cups is saying that you are doing it and the 7 of Wands is saying that you're not. So maybe you're not looking in the right place. It could also be very much that it's telling you that you need to. And then we've got the 5 of Wands is saying telling you to manage your funds. So basically all 3 of them are telling you to manage your funds, work out where you're spending them, work out where you can save. And if it's not funds, if it's more of time, again, it's the same thing, working out where you're spending that time. It could be extremely challenging. It could very well be that you're only doing it half the... Sorry about that. I'm not sure if you've just seen a bit of a glitch. My camera just disconnected for some reason. Right, so yeah, so it could be very well that you're doing, you're looking at where you're spending to cut out where the excess is coming in, but certain things you might be missing out, or you're not always doing it. Maybe you need to do it in 2 different areas. Maybe one is money, one might be energy. But yes, it's definitely saying that you need to manage your funds, manage your time. Down here, it does tell me that you're potentially already doing that, but it might be that you're not doing all of it. Now that could also be a bit of a blockage. Maybe you're doing too much of that. If you're very, very detailed with it, maybe you might need to start grouping things together a little bit, or maybe just set yourself a bit of a budget. If it's, if you're spending your money, I don't know, maybe you're somebody that has to budget all of your extra cash, and you know you're going to spend X amount on a night out, X amount on takeaways, X amount. Why not just go, right, this is £70 or whatever your budget is for the combined, and say once that's gone, it's gone, and spend it on whatever. I mean, everybody does things in different ways, so I'm not telling you to go and do that. That's just something that you could do if you're, instead of going, I've got £20 to spend on this, £30 to spend on that, But yeah, it's a hard one. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, so take it with a pinch of salt. Everybody works better with different things. But yeah, it's just telling me that you do need to work out how to manage funds, and that it could be a bit of a block if you're not currently doing that, or you're not 100% sure how to. If you don't know how to work out how you're using your funds or what you're spending your funds on, there are websites out there that you can use to help you track that sort of thing. Not necessarily track that sort of thing, but there are different financial help websites that you could possibly use that might help you work out how to budget and where to go and look in order to find out what you're spending. Now, in your core belief about money that is contributing to your blockage, we have this Lover's card, and that has come out again to the side. So this has come out in a bit of a challenge position. So this is suggesting that potentially you may be making decisions before you're truly looking at what you're getting yourself into. And that could be part of your issue. So you might very well be, you know, evaluating where you're spending your money, but what you could then be doing is signing up to new things without actually working out if you've got any spare money after, you know, beforehand to do that. So that could be why you are, you know, managing where you're spending money, but at the same time you're not, because you just jump in head first into things. So it could be, that could very well be why you've got both of those cards out. But yeah, so this, like I say, this Lovers card then is telling me that you do find, you know, checking over opportunities first and deciding whether they're right for you or not. You find that a bit of a challenge, and you might just jump into it head first. You could even be somebody that overthinks them quite a lot, and you might end up missing out on opportunities, or that might have happened to you in the past, and that could be why you now just jump straight into things and think, oh, I'll worry about that later. And that could be causing you a little bit of issues with where can you free up money, because you might have locked yourself into 12, 18-month contracts potentially. Let's get some clarification on that Lovers card, please, Spirit. Okay, so we've got a Four of Pentacles. Can we get two more, please, Spirit? Thank you. A Judgment card that came out to the side, and a Six of Cups. So yeah, you got a Four of Pentacles that came out then in the reverse. You got a Judgment card that decided to jump out to the side, and we have a Six of Cups that came out in the upright for you. So with that Four of Pentacles then, now that is telling me that you, how to put it, you like to spend money on people and potentially spend money on yourself because you fear that it's going to leave you lonely if you don't. Maybe that could be partly why, you know, you don't really evaluate the decisions you make before you spend money. That could have something to do with all the, you know, the people that are very needy. Maybe they want you to spend money on them, and you think that if you stop spending money on them, they'll stop associating with you. And that could have a lot to do with why you don't check what's going on first. So you might be signing up to things for other people and then locking yourself into contracts, and they might not even use it. Maybe you're paying for the gym for somebody and you're in a 12-month contract for it, and they don't even use the gym. What benefit does that give you? You know, maybe you've signed up to an extra, you know, if you got Netflix or something, maybe you've signed up for the extra household for them. But what benefit does it give you? You know, it's like you're doing it to make sure that they're appeased, but you're not actually thinking about yourself at the same time. Now, the Judgment card is suggesting that you might think it's a little bit risky to actually look at, you know, and evaluate those opportunities. Maybe you don't think that you should be doing that, because you think that if you were to do that, you'd probably turn around and say no to everything. So that could very well be why you're just jumping straight in and saying yes to things, because if you really sat and thought about it, you'd probably say no to a lot of it. Now, this Six of Cups then is suggesting that you're aware that you need to give, you know, and giving is what you always do. You've always been told, or maybe you've been taught a lot when you were younger, you know, treat people how you want to be treated, give to charities, give to people in need. Maybe you've been taught that growing up, so you're always under the impression that you need to give, and it could very well make you feel very good about giving. You know, you might get a sense of accomplishment from it. If it's something to do with your time and you've got a lot of energy vampires around you, again, it could be very much that if you were to actually sit and think about taking on other people's work or doing what you've been asked to, you'd very much probably go, well, actually, no, because it doesn't benefit me in any way, shape or form. It's going to make somebody else look good, but it's not going to do anything for you. But you've been taught that potentially if it's a reasonable request, you shouldn't be saying no, because let's face it, that's what a lot of contract or a lot of managers will tell you. If it's reasonable, then you can't say no to it. But if it's not your job to do and other people are just as capable, why should you be the person that's always doing it? What extra money are they going to give you? You know, what extra incentive do you get from it? Now, something that you can change to the situation, or changes that you can do to improve your situation, then we've got this Nine of Swords. Now that is in the reverse. So the Nine of Swords then is suggesting that you need to stop dwelling on the losses, or maybe you are, so you need to stop dwelling on the losses. And say maybe you are dwelling on the losses, but this is something that you need to change. So if you keep dwelling on how much time or money that you may have lost, you need to stop dwelling on that as such. Your finances will improve when you start managing your money better, and when you start saying no to people. So you don't need to worry about your finances not improving once you've actually got a handle of your finances and you're managing your money properly, and you start saying no. You don't have to worry too much, and you'll be able to. Yes, you may have already lost out a lot of money, especially if you've been giving over a number of years. Or yes, you may have lost a lot of time and energy if you've been doing work for a long time. I mean, maybe you keep on getting asked to do a load of extra work and you do it in overtime and not getting paid for it, and that's financially not good for you, let's face it. It is a loss of income. So maybe it's something where you need to concentrate on, that's happened in the past, it's gone. What can you do now going forward to make sure that doesn't happen again, sort of thing. Let's get some clarification on this Nine of Swords, please, Spirit. Oh, we've got two cards there. Okay, so we've got a Star card and a Ten of Pentacles. Can we get one more card, please, Spirit? Okay, you're going to give me two. And we've got an Emperor in reverse again, and we've got the Priest. So the Ten of Pentacles then and the Star, they came out, well, them and the Priest have come out in a challenge position. So that Star card is suggesting to me that you might find it a bit of a challenge, but you need to look at other people that have got what you want and potentially emulate how they've got where they are, or even ask them for help, or ask them for advice, ask them to be a bit of a mentor for you, to work your way up and for you to get what it is that you want. It could be that you don't know many people that have got what it is that you want, or have been successful, but there are people out there. It's just a case of finding them. Now that Ten of Pentacles again is saying about using inheritance wisely. So up here, you've got that Ten of Pentacles saying that you might struggle with it because you're not managing where your money is going, potentially because of these people. So it is saying that you do need to look at where you are spending that large influx of money or time. So whether that is inheritance, whether it is a lottery win, whatever it is, if it's a large amount of income that you've got all of a sudden, or like I say, extra time that you've got at work, making sure that you are spending it wisely. That could be a bit of a challenge when you've got people in your energies that are trying to suck it all out of you, basically. But yeah, so it can be a bit of a challenge. Now the Emperor in the reverse is telling you to stop helping all of those people that are saying that they're in need. Okay, so if it's something to do with finances, you can help people to a certain extent, but giving them money constantly isn't helping them. All it's doing is paying their bills. It's not helping them learn how to do it themselves. It could be something where you might need to look at taking a different tact, or just stop them completely, especially if you keep giving to them, because they need to learn how to do it. Maybe what your approach should be, instead of keep giving them the money, is telling them how to, helping them learn to budget, potentially helping them to learn to manage their own finances. So if you're looking at all your income and your expenditure and working out where can you cut down money, can you teach that to them so that you haven't got to keep bailing them out? If it's people at work, you know, where they want you to keep helping them with their work, are they going to give you their wages? If they're not, why do you need to help them with their work? Especially if you've got your own to do. If you've got free time, you know, by all means, help people out. But make sure that you put your self-development and your own tasks first, because at the end of the day, you're only getting paid to do your work. You're not getting paid to do other people's work. Unless your manager's going to give you extra money for it, or unless the person's going to give you money out of their pay to help them, you know, why should you do it? At the end of the day, you need to start putting your foot down and saying no. Yes, it can be a bit hard, especially if your manager's asked you to do it. But if it's reasonable, if it's unreasonable, and there's other people sitting around free that could just as easily do it, just say to your manager, well, you don't have enough time. Can they pass that on to somebody else, or can they delegate some of your work to someone else because you haven't got the time to fit in the new stuff? You know, you could literally say, well, that's great. If you want me to do that, it's going to take me X amount of time. So I'm not going to have time to deal with all of my workload at the moment. Do you want to redistribute that? You know, what can you either give it to somebody else, or can you give some of my work to someone else, sort of thing? Because they can't tell you, no, you've got to do it all. If they do tell you, no, you've got to do it all, just don't do it. Because if you put yourself through it, all the stress, and you do it anyway, they're going to expect you to be able to do that every single time. So you're just going to be digging yourself a big hole. I've been there. I have been there. So if it is something that you do, you know, just stop. It's not going to help you at all. Now, the magician then, or the priest in this case, has come out. It's not, well, I don't know why I've called him the magician. It's the priest. It's usually the high priestess. I'm going mad. Why did I think the magician? But yeah, so again, it's going to be a bit of a challenge to spend wisely. It is suggesting that if you are going to give to people in need, give it to a charity, not to needy people. Okay, so you could find that a bit of a challenge of deciding who's actually a charity case. I know that sounds horrible, isn't it? If it's something where you're donating it freely and people are not asking you, then that's the difference between a charity and a need. You know, because if it's them asking you, it's because they need something or they just want something. They might not need it. They might just want you to do it, so they haven't got to do it. They might just want you to pay for something because they can't be bothered and they want to go and spend their money on whatever they want to do. You know, if you give it to somebody of your own free will without being asked, then that's different. That is a charity, you know. That is you being charitable. That is a charitable act on your behalf, because you're not doing it to get anything out of anything. You're not doing it because somebody's asked you to. You're not doing it because somebody wants you to. You're just doing it from the kindness of your own heart. But you also need to be careful with doing it, because you don't want to overgive, because again, they can become dependent on you. You know, mainstream charities or obscure little charities are fair enough, but if it's your friends and family members or even people you work with, they're a bit different. You need to be a bit careful around those. Now, if you do manage to make the changes to improve your situation, we have the Page of Wands as the outcome, and we also have a Knight of Swords. So the Page of Wands in the upright, the Knight of Swords in the reverse. So that Page of Wands then, again, is telling you how to, well, he's telling you, you know, maybe you should look at investing into something, possibly a nice trip. So maybe you want to spend your money or save your money for something nice, like a nice trip out, or a holiday somewhere. And the Knight of Swords is suggesting that you you be careful when you're acting in haste where money's concerned. You don't want to jump straight into something until you've evaluated what's going into it. So just be careful with jumping into things straight away, especially if it's a holiday. Make sure you're getting a good deal. You know, you don't want to find a holiday or go for the first holiday you find, think you've got a bargain because the holiday sales agent is telling you it's good, and then find, you know, you get to the next agent and it's the same place, same hotel, you know, same package, but it could be, you know, £400 cheaper. Say you go to the second place. If you bought it from the first place, you'll probably just walk past a window and, you know, ever what do they call them? Holiday brokers? I'm not sure. But travel agents, that's the one. You know, you might go past, because I know where I live, you've got like shops full of travel agents and they've got pictures in the windows with the prices on them. If you go in, they have different offers. So you might sign up to something thinking it sounds really good and then walk past the next travel agent and they've got exactly the same holiday for cheaper, you know. So be careful, but it does suggest that you need to take some time out, potentially go on a bit of a trip. Maybe that's going to help people stop relying on you. It could even be that you need to, you know, not so much take a trip from spending. You can't take a trip from spending, but take a vacation from spending on people. So make yourself unavailable. Make yourself unavailable to them for money, or make yourself unavailable to them for help. Now we've got the death card that's come out to clarify. So the death card then is telling me that, you know, don't worry too much. It will be fine. You know, if you do feel a bit stuck, or if you take a trip out, things aren't going to end for you. It's going to carry, you know, business is going to carry on as usual. So don't worry too much about that. We also have a King of Swords. Now he came out in a challenging position. Now he's telling me that you need to take a tactical approach and try and keep high standards. So it might be something where you've not really took a tactical approach previously. You also might not have kept high standards. You might have had people that can easily sway you, and this is potentially saying no, don't let them sway you. Make sure that you decide what you want. I've just had a card jump under the desk. Yeah, so you got the Knight of Swords coming out again to clarify that Knight of Swords. He's saying make sure that you decide what you want, but do it without haste, because if you do it with haste, it could lead to some issues. So make sure you take your time when you're deciding what it is that you want, and make sure that you keep high standards. So don't just go for the first thing that comes along if it doesn't have everything you want, just because somebody's telling you it's a bargain. So try and keep away from people that are, I mean, you can't always keep away from people, but some people have got a gift where they can just sell ice to an Eskimo, you know. Try not to get yourself caught up with somebody like that can sell ice to an Eskimo. The Seven of Pentacles is saying that it is going to be a bit of a challenge for you to not rush into decisions, but you do need to not rush into a decision. You do need to make sure you take time, no matter how tempting it is. You need to take your time when you're making decisions and not rush into something. Even if people are trying to pressure you into doing something quickly, you know, at the end of the day, it's your money, or it's your time and your energy. Don't let them pressure you into making a decision. It's your decision at the end of the day. It's going to affect you. It's not going to affect them. If it's somebody that's asking you for help with money, you know, at the end of the day, once they've got that money from you, it's not going to affect them, because they've got what they want out of you. It's you that's then got to pay for it. You know, you've got to deal with the shortfall that you've got in your finances. The same as if somebody at work has asked you for some help on something. You know, if you go ahead and do it, it's you then that falls behind on your own work. It's not going to affect them. If anything, they're just going to go, oh yeah, look, I'm up to date with everything, and look, here's all my wonderful stuff. I've not fell behind. I can't believe they fell behind. You know, to you that's sat there and helped them. So just be really careful with that sort of thing, because there are people out there that are absolute takers. And it does suggest to me that you are dealing with some takers. Now, let's get some energies of people that you could be dealing with here then. So the Emperor is Aries. We've got Gemini. We've also got Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. We have... Ooh. I know it's air, isn't it? Oh yeah, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Libra. No. Just, I'm thinking of Justice. Have we got any more energies? Aquarius again. Aries again. Scorpio. There's a lot of Gemini, Libra, Aquarius in this. You've got Knight of Swords twice. And then you've got King of Swords as well. So there's lots of your energy in here. I mean, you could be dealing with any of those energies as well in your... Or any of those could be in your energy, trying to influence how you're spending or how you're using your time. So if they are in your energies, just be mindful of any of them asking for help or money. Right, let's get you an Angel of Abundance card as well. Spirit, can we get an Angel of Abundance card for Gemini, please? Positivity, faith and optimism. So you open the doorway to positive experiences and opportunities with your positive expectations and energy. Do not allow negative energy or temporary setbacks to interfere with the path that you are on. Keep the faith and keep going. Okay, well, I hope that's helped some of you have an idea of what's going on with some finances and how to try and improve your situation that you may be in at the moment. If you did like the reading today, please don't forget to hit that like button. It will help push the message out to anybody else that needs to hear it. If you do want to hear more messages from me, hit that subscribe button as well, and you get notifications whenever I upload new content. But yeah, I hope you managed to navigate that finance issue brilliantly, and I'm sure you will. Yeah, hopefully you don't get too many challenges with people trying to drain your time and your energy or your funds. But good luck with navigating through that and dealing with them. Thank you for joining me today.